Okay, so the first hurdle I guess we had to jump over, besides me putting the announcement on and actually inviting students to come to this meeting, was what to call it. So once we had about 18 students show up to the first meeting, and they actually took a vote and decided to call our group CSS Pride. And they decided it was fitting. The mascot could be a lion, like a pride of lions. And we would keep the meetings kind of coffee shop style, which would include snacks and beverages and music and activities. And of course, invite anyone, everyone's welcome. So we actually had one meeting and we discussed maybe what we're going to do in the future. And those activities, I guess I'll share with you. So our first agenda, it did include, of course, establishing the group name and where we're going to meet in the future, and introductions. So I actually brought some name tags that help students, they could write down what they prefer to be called versus maybe what is on their roll call in the classroom, and also their pronoun that they would prefer. And after this, we just had a casual meeting and made some posters of what they would like to see in the hallways and maybe things they could put in their lockers, and also maybe posters or pictures they could give to teachers who would also be supportive of this group. So that was the first meeting, and they discussed doing the next meeting, maybe having some poems and some songs or some readings along with the activities. So I actually found one in the Chicken Soup for Soul book about connections and about a mother and daughter, where the daughter was coming out and wasn't sure how to approach the mom. So it seemed fitting. We have a lot of girls in the group, so it seems like a nice little story to start with. And then we'd also have this game, it's called Warm Fuzzies. So we would write on each other's backs something good about each other. So whether it's what you're wearing or what they know about you. And then to end the day, we could watch, and to end the group, we would watch a video. It's called Love Has No Labels. And it just shows how love knows no gender, love knows no age, no race. So it's a great little inspirational video. And the next session, we could look at anxiety. This was part of my assignments beforehand, and there was a PowerPoint that goes with it. And it just basically introduces anxiety and shows some steps how to deal with it. And this could also include a visit from the therapy dog. I actually work with St. John's Ambulance, and my dog and I have been certified as a therapy dog team. So I would bring her in one day, and I'm sure the students would love to interact with her. They know her. She usually visits the resource room. So I think it'd be a great fit for her to come visit the group one day. And then, of course, our activity for the day would be to make stress balls. So they're fun little balls. They're made of like cornstarch or rice that the kids would take home with them. And the next activity would be when we meet is a video I found. It's called 50 Shades of Gay. And it just basically speaks about how people aren't necessarily able to put into boxes or being labeled, and the struggles that come with that when society does label you. And the activity we could do after this video, about 20 minutes long, is called a bladder chatter. You've probably heard of it in the TRU. In the washrooms, they're like inspirational quotes and sayings and different themes for every week or every month. So we do this at CSS already. So we thought, hey, well, why doesn't the CSS Pride group take a week or a month and do one of these? It could be about facts and fiction about LGBT, put some pictures on there, some inspirational quotes, and of course, some helping resources for those students who are looking for more information. And then the next time we meet, we could have, I thought, a guest speaker. So I've been in touch with some individuals at Safe Spaces and Kamloops, and I know we discussed in class as well as our readings in the counseling panel about how it's important to keep in contact and make a list of resources about when we're not the experts on something. There's lots of people out there, so to reach out. So I'm planning on getting someone in to be a guest speaker, and then the students can ask them questions and have a kind of a question answer period for them. And we can play this game called Two Truths and a Lie if the students are comfortable about telling two things about themselves, maybe making something up and just getting to know each other that way. And then the follow-up activity would be to make, I call them belonging buttons. So little buttons that they could make to put on their backpacks and t-shirts. We have a button maker at school, so that seemed to fit. And then the last activity I've come up with so far is to watch the movie. It's called Misrepresentation. And this just shows how young women and girls are being forced into certain identities. And I guess it just seemed to fit with a lot of the girls that are in this group, and how to really bring up self-esteem, especially nowadays with all the technology and the electronic media. And then we'd follow up with a little activity of tie-dyeing. They said they'd love to have kind of a cohesive piece, so like a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, and someone said, well, I don't really like the big baggy t-shirts, so what about scarves? So I said, yep, that would be perfect. So something tie-dyed, kind of represent them as a group, and thought it would be, yeah, be great to see them in the halls wearing them, and they were totally supportive of that. So that's the activities I've come up with so far, and I'd love to continue this throughout the year. And thank you for sharing this with me.